Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to My Skills, My Future. Today, very good morning, Maharani, lovely Ankita, and Chinni, Sheikh Farida. Very good morning. Very good morning. How are you? Fine. Good. Good. Very good. So today, in our regular program, I have decided to discuss IBPS paper. See, in the last 3 sessions, we have been discussing Staff Selection Commission CGL paper, but today I have just, for a change, let us go with the IBPS paper. See, IBPS paper is a little bit intriguing, but don't get tensed. I'm here to facilitate you. See, the questions which appear here are little bit different, not difficult. I don't say it is difficult, it is different. See, generally, the questions are asked in the domains of parajumbles and sentence sequence. See, he gives a paragraph and he also gives some options and suggest and ask us to suggest which could have been the first sentence, which could have been the second sentence. I mean, he doesn't come in chronological way. He comes in what could have been the sixth sentence. Then he goes to what could have been the second sentence, like this. So this kind of questions do generally appear in SAT exam. SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test, SAT exam. Similarly, of course, SAT exam at difficulty level will be more. Here in IBPS, I don't say the difficulty level will be more, but there is, see, to answer this kind of questions, you should study thoroughly how these sentences they do appear. Venkateshwari, good morning, very good morning, good. So shall we go? Okay, fine. The first sentence. Direction. Read slowly, clearly, without any fuss. 4 statements are given below at 1, 2, 3, and 4. There may be some errors in the given statement or statements. The correct statement is your answer. The correct statement is your answer. Good. Venkateshwari, good morning again. To drain water away from the tracks, railroad beds, like road beds, are designed in which there is usually bed of rock and gravel resulting in fast drainage from the tracks. 2. Railroad beds, like road beds, are designed in which there is usually a bed of rock and gravel that results in the fast drainage from the tracks. A bed of rock and gravel called the railroad bed is designed similar to road bed to drain water away from the tracks. Railroad beds, like road beds, are designed to drain water apart from the tracks. So there is usually a bed of rock and gravel resulting in fast drainage away from the tracks. All are correct. Okay, actually, which statement is the most appropriate one? That is the test here. Of course, the context of the sentence or the sentences is one and the same. Generally, I think this is the best way, this is the best time also to discuss that during the rainy season, generally due to the floods, railway track is getting damaged. That often we see on television and read in newspapers also. So to avoid this, that is a context. Now, See, I'll just give you a hint. Never a sentence in this type of questions begin with an infinitive. So rule out option 1. Rule out because 2 plus verb, right? That's fine. Next, when we come to the second sentence, see here, my intention is, for example, first question, answer so and so option directly. Let us go to the second question. That is not the criteria, right? We need to discuss why not the first one. At the same time, we should also think about the other possible or the other possible options. Second one, it has begun correctly, but something is missing right here. Railroads, okay. Gravel results, okay. Next, a bed of rock and gravel called railroad design similar to a roadbed is to drain water. Something is missing actually. The third one also. Right? Coming to the fourth one. Railroad beds. Like road beds. Subject has been clearly mentioned. Next, coming to the predicate part. That are designed to drain water apart from the tracks. And the complementary part. So there is usually a bit of rock and gravel resulting in fast drainage away from the tracks. So among options now, my dear viewers, just say which could have been the best option. 4, right? Understand? See, this is the typical way of identifying the answer. Of course, because it is a practice session I'm taking, or rather I'm consuming much of the time. But you need to do it very quickly. Okay, shall we go to the next question? Right. Second one. 4 statements are given below. See, that's I have told you, right? Because even in IBPS also, questions are a bit difficult. Difficulty level is more. Because a competitive exam is a competitive exam, right? Okay. Then many Japanese cities had extensive tram system until the 1960s. When increased motorization started to make some lines disappear. Right? Increased motorizations, I think I have to give you enough time, right? Read. I'll give 1 minute time. Maharani, good. So the context is very simple. What happened in Japan? How motorization has radically changed. That is a context, right? Context is very clear. Okay. Maharani. Good. Right. Shall I go with the third option? How will it be? When increased motorization started to make lines disappear, many Japanese cities have extensive tram systems until the 1960s. Got it? See, actually, he wanted to convey the situation prior to 1916 and after that. Understand? Until 16, when increased the motorization, the sentence is wrong. Actually, when you come to option 4, Maharani, that you have attempted well, but that is not the correct option. See, until should not be in the beginning of the sentence. Yes. Maharani, you're very good. Fine. Good. So option 3. Understood? Shall we go to the next question? Archaeological, I should not say. If I say the way in which I pronounce may give you some hints, no problem, I'll discuss each and every option. Good, Maharani. See, reciprocative. Most of you are reciprocate. Every day, I do encounter you, really. Your participation is encouraging. I welcome you to these sessions. Take active part, learn, get the benefit. Good, good. Okay, archaeological research in Sarasota documents more than 10,000 years of seasonal occupation by native people. More than 10,000 years of seasonal occupation by native people have been, no, something is missing. Next, Sarasota's archaeological research has recorded more than 10,000 years of seasonal occupation by the native people. Okay, it is very near. The seasonality and native, no, these never come in the way. Okay, now the choice is between 1 and 3. Choice is between 1 and 3. Think. Okay. That is the first. Option A, archaeological research documents more than 10,000 years of seasonal occupation by native peoples, because agreement of subject. Archaeological research is third person singular. So documents, noun has been taken as verb. Right? Got it? So that statement is correct. Understood? Because 10,000 years, why can't third option, 10,000 years of maybe past time? So it must be in Chinni, you're also 3, sir. I have just misled you. It doesn't mean that third one is option. Right? Chinni, good. Anyhow. Good. Good attempt. So option A. Shall we go to the next question? There may be some errors in the given statement or statements. Racing for the bus or bag flew upon all documents. As she raced for the bus, her bag flew open, making the documents lost. Racing for the bus, her bag flung open, and all the documents were lost. The documents were lost when racing for the bus, bag flung open. All are correct. Which one? Which one? Racing for the bus, subject is missing. Generally, misrelated participles, maybe a present participle or a past participle. Subject is missing. So rule out option A, option 1. Also C, 3, third option. But something is missing in option 4. Option 5, that is also not correct because the sentence needs some improvement. Which could have been the answer. Very good, Ajit Kumar. You're right. Wonderful. Very good, Ajit Kumar. I appreciate you. So as she raced for the bus, because it is an adverbial clause of result. Adverbial clause of result. As, because, isn't it? Since. So as she raced for the bus, what happened? Her bag flew open, making the documents right? Good, fine. Ajit Kumar, good attempt. So it's regarding the Trump administration. The Trump administration is intensifying its effort to crack down the so-called sanctuary cities, refuse to comply with the federal immigration authorities. Good. Good, welcome, Ajit. You're welcome. You're most welcome. See, that phrase is correct. Very good, very good. Now, Trump administration. Efforts were intensified by the Trump administration. See here, usage of phrases. The correct phrase must be placed to give the content. Efforts were intensified by the Trump administration to crack down sanctuary cities. That phrase is not correct. Come to option 4. The result, actually, the federal immigration authorities must be compiled into what? By sanctuary cities, when if the efforts of Trump administration must be intensified, isn't it? See, actually, there are two juxtaposed things. So in this case, this phrase is the correct option. Understood? Next. The deceased soldier's family is banking upon the government for justice and support. Oh, banking upon. Wonderful. Banking upon. Banking upon is a wrong expression, actually. Here, pressurizing or depending on. This is a quite common thing because the government announces ex gratia and the deceased, the bereaved family members may ask, right? That is a situation. Among all the options, one option is the best. The best, I can say. The family of the deceased soldier is banking of the government for bankers upon or banking upon gives the derogatory sense. Actually, that phrase is a wrong expression. You're not supposed to use it. Okay? That's wrong. Understood? Then. So directions now, 7 to 12 questions. Which of the following phrases 1, 2, 3 are given below each sentence should replace the phrase and printed in bold letters to make the sentence grammatically correct. Choose the best option among the 5 given alternatives. 5 given alternatives that reflect the correct usage of the phrase in the context of grammatically correct sentence. See, it must be grammatically correct. Syntax must be correct. Grammatically, it must be coherent. Maintaining all the 3 unities of time, place, and action. See, because in language, especially in verbal, this is very important. Directly identifying the answer. Always in a competitive exam, my dear viewers, I'm saying you, 2 answers are almost similar, but only 1 answer. You have to choose between them only. If the sentence is correct, no correction is required. That is the answer, right? Shall we go? Have you read the instructions? Across India, the social psyche is psyche is fraying for the edges where superstition, hate-spewing ideologies, and fear of the other are producing massive disruptions, sometimes tapping the social media's viral potential. Exactly the situation fits today, because the incidents which are happening, right, we are not here to discuss general knowledge things or what is happening around us. Here we are concerned only with the language. See, the social psyche is fraying. Social psyche is fraying. Ajit, no one. Okay. Now, shall I go with the social psyche is fraying at the edges, not for the edges. The social psyche, see, I'll tell you, generally, the social psyche is fraying at the edges is the correct phrase to make the sentence correct. See, fraying for, not fray, similarly fraying in, and also fraying off, they don't fit in, isn't it? So option 3 is the correct one. Understood? So across India, the social psyche is fraying at the edges where almost reached the peak point. That's it. Understood? Then a solution has to be finding to use. Got it. We read that. See, the moment when you read that something is missing, definitely that part of the sentence is to be improvised. Right. Read the sentence. Fraying at. Very good, Maharani. You're right, Maharani. You're right. Good. Shall we? Okay. A solution. Do you want me to give some more time? Solution has been found. No, has been. Something is missing. Solution have to be found to reduce. Why that roundabout? Directly. Coming to the third option. A solution, good. A solution has to be found to reduce the frequency of elections, which leaves the people and the government machinery tied to frequent electoral processes. That's the correct way. A solution has to be found, not has been found. Means that somebody has found the solution, right? That's the difference, right? Shall we go to the next question? Very good. Marani, a good attempt, but solution is third person singular, right, Maharani? So has, not have. Got it. Very good. But good attempt. Next. There will, of course, be other constitutional issues and administrative problems which need to be sorted out in consultation with the stakeholders, political bodies, and all others. In consultation. Good, Marani, very good. That's the spirit. Very good. In consultation. In consultation. There will, of course, be other constitutional issues and administrative problems which need to sort it out and blah, 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 political parties. And the sentence is correct. Subject is very clear. Complementary part is very clear. So no correction is required. Got it? Good. So actually, it is grammatically correct. With the conditional clause is well defined. Right. So we go to the next question. The platform should allow exporters to file all information, documents online, doing beside with the need of deal to customs, Directorate General like DGFT, shipping companies, sea and airports and banks separately, doing abide with, doing off with, doing away with. The other part, we are not, the moment when you see this doing abide, doing off or doing away. Yeah, that's what actually happening, right? Right, shall I give you the hint? Doing away with. What is the meaning of that doing away with? Is it doing away with what you say? No, doing away is a derogatory sense. See, generally doing away, doing someone is, no, doing away, people are neglecting it actually. People are neglecting it. Good. Doing away. Doing away with the need to deal with customs. So that should be the correct phrase here. Not doing beside with the need. We cannot do beside, right? Beside is a prepositional. Actually, doing away, doing beside with is a prepositional phrase which is used in another context. Here, the context is different. Actually, I mean to say that these two things are to be separately. When he says airports, banks, and companies, shipping, all, they need to be taken separately. And how people are ignoring, isn't it? Good. Shall we go to the next question? So option 3, that one. Next. Meeting the target 25 million jobs in manufacturing and 50 million in services, and bring India upon a par with the top of, guard the sentence, the top of manufacturing exporting nations. Okay, which part is needs correction? On a par with, good, good. At the par with, in a par with, on par. See, generally, when we say on par, got it? On par, par excellence. Of course, this is a mission, future India, how they have set the target, how the things are to be in creating job opportunities. 25 million in manufacturing and 50 million jobs are to be set up in services industry and so on. That's good, on par with. So rule out option 1. That is option 1 is the correct answer. Rule out the other. Good. Next. A, plain refusal to talk. Okay. To the separatists is politically untenable when the other side seems inclined to push back on the declaration of independence. Often when we face with contrast, this is a common thing. The government comes for a discussion, whereas the contrast will, they have their own hidden agenda. Right, that is the situation. Think. When I have explained this, you need to visualize how the things, this other side seems inclined, hinting, I'm just hinting you, inclined. Very good. You're good, Ajay, but Ajit, think. Ajit, it's a good attempt, Ajit. The sentence doesn't require any improvement. It's correct. Right? A plain refusal to talk. And how things, right? Good. Should we go to the next question? Again, directions 13 to 21. Below, in each question, some sentences are given. Find the sentence which is not contributing to the main theme and the passage of, or find the odd sentence out and rearrange the remaining sentences to make a coherent paragraph. So this is what I have already told you in the beginning. If the given sentence is correct as it is, choose option 5. If the sequence is the one which is not given in, then choose option 4 as your choice. Isn't it? So you need to go through the passage and sentences, like for example, A, B, C, D, one by one. You need to fit in. You need to fit in. Then only you can attempt. A, B, C, D. Often structured by them dichotomy, but as persistence of low growth equilibria. Think. Good. So actually these, I beg your pardon, this could be the E. This could be the E. And if it's okay, your pardon. See that actually this is E. Response to or as a result of national, regional, and global divisions or, words. This is. So the logical sequence must be this. E, D, A, C. So E, as I I told you D should be like E. Okay, I'm sorry, this actually a typographical error. Next, this is fine. Stories that seek to preserve the singular benefits of think. Stories that seek to preserve the singular benefits of leadership that addresses local and national concerns. Because why it has been typed here, because within a single slide we want to show you. That could have been the reason why we have cramped them, right? So I think it's very convenient to you, right? The earlier one also, actually D and E are to be separately typed, but due to the space, but we have just mentioned, we would have mentioned E and mentioned D, yeah, right? That's not the case here. Stories that seek A, very good, Marani, you're right. Option 3 is correct. Marani, you're right. Good. Stories that seek preserve the singular benefits of leadership that addresses local and national concerns. Global integration, because the citizens yearn for responsive, like that. Okay, right, good. It requires a discontinuous leap in expectations and policies. Very good. Marani, very good attempt. I think I put here first. Good. Very good. So which could have been the best option here? The destruction and recreation for, how will it be? Private entities compared to public ones. Probability of adaptation including through a relatively orderly process of creative. Got it? So option 1. Logical sequence. Then the latter require, so there must be former and latter. Okay, think, just I'm giving you the hint. Hope you, I think odd one we are omitting. If it is odd, we don't want to say it. The latter require an intensification of reform efforts. Lest they constitute another obstacle to, see these things, actually when we start the regular classes, how this logical sequence, especially in sentences, we will discuss them clearly, because the regular pattern we do definitely discuss this, how to evolve the answers. So here A, B, C, D is the correct sequence. E is odd here. Okay. So answer 5. Then no correction is required. That is odd actually. Next. Sorry, I have come back later. This mechanisms less costly and less risky economic, as illustrated by very good Ajit. It's a good attempt. Good. Ajit is good. Like well-designed and well-functioning road network. D. So ruling out of the other two, E and 4, 5. Come. Mechanisms less costly. So, which could have been the like well-designed staple operating. So DC. What among DC? Is it DC? Think. Good. After DC, A. Mechanisms less costly. And the last ending, E must be there. Think. So option 1 is the answer. Okay. Good. Maharani is also good. You're attempting. Very good. See, this, especially this part is a little bit difficult. No doubt, you will get through it because you have potentiality. Day one, I have been saying the same thing. The only thing, you require some brushing. So in course of regular classes, I do give exercises on this. Let us do more. Very good, Maharani. Then the adjustment process is even trickier for public institutions. Read it. I should not read. Shall I give you? The adjustment process is even trickier for public institutions, often embodying the properties of natural monopolies. They are not only shielded from description, but can also repress and definitely beneficial innovation. That's all. Do you really require B statement? Isn't it the odd one, right? That's so what could have been the one? Not ADCE, ACDE. Okay, good. As LTTE displaced the other Tamil militants and became dominant. Hope you know what the meaning of LTTE, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam. Right? Actually, it was started by Appa Pillai Amrutalingam, then Dilipan, Vellu Pillai Prabhakaran, they took it to violence, and of course, you would have seen what happened afterwards. Right? We are not here to discuss why LTTE emerged. Let us see. Good. As the LTTE displaced the other Tamil militants and became dominant, they boldly changed their political choices. That's all. Got it. Okay. ADEB. Because see, they don't, it doesn't fit there. Because they are talking about something different. Suddenly bringing the matinee ideology into that is odd. He has to give way. Very good. Good, good. He has to. The present system of running trains on a congested network at the cost of maintenance and safety has to give way to, got it. Option 3. Think about the present scenario. Okay. Fine. So option 3. Next. Keep their inner life tightly under control. Education institutions seldom blah 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 blah. See, this kind of sentences require subject, verb, complementary, like sequence, which could. Shall I begin? Education institutions seldom serve as a precise mirror. Next. That is very important. Of historical change because pedagogic and administrative rituals. Now ruling out of other options. Now the choice is between second and third option. Keep their inner self. So option C. 3. Got it? One thing is odd here. That is. Okay. Now, same correction of sentences. Which of the following phrases 1, 2, and 3 given below each sentence should replace the phrase printed? Choose the best option among the 5 alternatives and reflect the correct use of phrase in the context grammatically. If no correction is required, go with 5, as already we have done. Because I have taken from another paper. 22. Question 22. I need you to give me a ballpark's worth of figures how much this event is going to cost us in the next 2 months. Maharani. Okay. I need to do it. I need you to give me a ballpark's worth of figures how much. Give me ballpark a figure how much this event is going to cost. Enough, that's straight away. Option A. Only one. Okay, not the second one. Next. Despite the abuse and insults that were hurled at him, he really sticks to his guns and showed his bastards how to be calm. He really stuck to his guns. Really stuck to his guns. Think. He really stuck on to, not stuck to. Stuck on to his guns. To stick on. To stick on means here, say for example, I stick on the principle which I follow, not on to. Sorry, to and sticking in. Got it? Option 1. Next. Vilest of the thing that can be done by a person is to ill-treat. Vilest, actually, vile means bad, nasty or deplorable. Think. The vilest thing that can be done by a person is the best way of treating, right? So 3. The vilest thing that can be done by a person is to ill-treat dogs and other defenseless animals. So we should be kind towards animals. Right? Then, the government cannot realize good price from certain assets, but their disposal help stop the drain. Not help didn't stop the drain. Isn't it? Will help in stoppage, in again noun, not correct. Be helping a B form and again an ing form, a bare B form and gerund will not fit. An auxiliary verb, simple, will help. Right? The tree shed its leaves every time autumn approaches. Generally, autumn is now setting in. Shed their leaves every autumn. Every time autumn approaches. So option 2, it's very simple. The trees shed their leaves. The trees shed their leaves. Sandhya, very good, Sandhya. You're right. Good. So we go to the next question. Insurance is a contract represented for a policy. Something is missing. Think. Represented for a policy, in or by or with. Represented with a policy. Represented with a policy. With. So 3. Which individual or entity receives a financial protection? Then, Southeast Asian countries today are far more integrated than they have ever been in the modern history of the region. But ASEAN has some way to go before it can call itself a real community. Straight, it doesn't require any improvement. Southeast Asian countries today are far more integrated than they have ever been in the modern history of the region. But ASEAN Right? No correction is required. Very good. With cyberspace giving, while the cyberspace may have given an opportunity, although cyberspace has given so these 2 and 3 are correct. You can use either 2 or 3. Opportunity to many to express themselves. The question that remains unanswered is whether their voices are heard naturally. Right? Shall we go to the next question? The co-production agreement has already resulted in several film ventures being signed, and this would hopefully open up the market for more Indian films and television programs. Absolutely correct. It doesn't require any. Right. So that's all for this year paper. Let's go to the next year. That is IBPS 2016. Rearranging. Sentences A, B, C, and D, E, F, the proper sequence for meaningful paragraph, and then answer the questions that are given below. I'll give time. I'll give enough time for you to read. So as I mentioned earlier, which could have been the second, which could have been the third, which could have been the last, like this, the questions. So you have read the paragraph. I mean, the points. A, it's the only country in the world that's carbon negative, which means it produces more oxygen than it consumes. Bhutan, sandwiched between 2 most populous nations on Earth, suffers for their sins, naturally. So far, so good. But then 2 things happened. Carbon sinks 70%, forest covered, powered by almost entirely mountain streams. Bhutan is a poster child for green living. Glaciers are beginning to melt, flash floods and heavy rains and even droughts are common, and temperatures are climbing. One, India and China got richer. So these are, so definitely you must think. Oh. So the present scenario of Bhutan, which is sandwiched between 2 most populous countries, what are they? You should have some general knowledge also. India and China. Okay, now let's go to the first question. Which of the following should be the first sentence? Got it? D. Carbon sinks 70% forest covered, powered almost entirely mountain streams. Bhutan is a poster child for green living. Right. Next, let's go to question 2, second question. Which of the following should be the third sentence of the given paragraph? Should be, not actually. We're not asking the sequence, which could have been the third sentence. So far, so good, Bhutan. See, think. Okay. Next. See, this kind of questions do appear in SAT exams. Should be very careful. Maharani, your attempt is good, but not exactly. Correct. Okay, good attempt. Next, which of the following should be the last sentence of the given? See, he confuses us. In the meantime, we are lost. That should be avoided. That should be avoided. Last. So which could have been the last one? Shall I come back? Glaciers are beginning to melt. Naturally, that's what is actually happening, right? E. Option 5. Good, Maharani, very good. Next, fourth one. What is the fourth sentence in the paragraph? Question number is also 4. Good, good. Maharani, very good. Good. Options. Fourth of the paragraph. Shall I come back? Last one. In the given F. Right. Next question. So this is really a test for you. When you have put everything in order, one thing definitely should be left over. That is the fifth one. Good. You're attempting good. But I think put my chart box here. A. Right. Similarly, in these questions, read the sentence to find out whether there's grammatical error in any part of the sentence. Mark that part with error as your answer. If there is no error, mark no error as your answer. Ignore the punctuation at all, if there are any. We are not here to correct the punctuation. A lot of research has been conducted on the field, human resources, on the field. See, right? Actually, resources for understanding is wrong expression. To understand must be there. Resources to understand what creates work culture in an organization. Not resources for understanding. Next. During our visit to the hill station, we came across under observation by the neighboring country. Under observation. The area where we was or we were. We, simple logic, right? Is it a singular or a plural? Was, there is an error, right? So, see. Okay, We were actually. Present tense are, past were. We were. So part, that is an error part. Next. Though these buildings have been given clearance by fire safety officials, got it. Nor followed or have been followed. Have been followed. It must be in passive, right? Right. D. Next. Very good, Maharani. Very good attempt. Ajit, you have just confused. Okay, good. But anyway, it's a good attempt. Air pollution in the city rises beyond the permissible limits every winter as the pollutants cannot escape from the atmosphere due to radial inversion. No error. Think. Then, okay. Air pollution in the city rises. Beyond the permissible level every winter as the pollutants cannot escape from the atmosphere due to radial. No error. Good. Next. Those who want to do good things. Those who want to do good things. Those who want to do good things, very simple, right? Are what requires or that requires? See, okay, next. In the given passage, there are blanks, each of which has been numbered against each 5 words or suggested of one of which fits the blank appropriately. Find the appropriate word in each case. The use of technology in education has been present throughout history. Over the last century, schools have modified their simple approach, not their pathway, their approach to teaching as well as methods that were used to enhance student learning. Chalk and talk, they have been chalk and slate. Now they have been replaced with smart technology. Next, the capabilities of teachers with the new technology give them the what? Ability to simple logic. Earlier, this kind of classes used to be taught. We used to teach conventional method, chalk and talk, but now through an online platform. So ability to differentiate lessons for, again, 13th, I will go with the options. Oral learning. But for better oral learning, isn't it? Slowly we need to improve. Microsoft PowerPoint is one of the most popular technology tools used in any classroom. Smart Technologies has integrated the smart board software with PowerPoint, thus combining the newest technology with the most popular SI. Okay, 13th one. Sorry, I need to come back, right? Lessons for better. Okay, next 14th. The brief description shows the new technology is being implemented in the classroom. Unfortunately, ability very good, Maharani, you're right. Approach, good. Due to what? Hover cost. The costs have been hovering. The more advanced new equipment becomes, the less likely schools are willing to achieve or acquire. Acquire, not archive. It for their classrooms. Following sufficient funds. Right. Smart technology is the most recent equipment to enter classroom. In 2002, if a school wanted to better allocate its finances, isn't it? Right? It's a common practice here. If you want to stand in, if you want to be stable in the market, you need to invest. This is what is called in commercial terms deferred revenue expenditure. Presently, it may be a loss, but in the course of time, it fetches profits. Right? Identify the error part. A rapid round. The need to set up a good library in the locality has been in the minds of people for some time now. The need to set up a good library in the locality is in the minds of people. Not for some time now. You don't get confused with the present perfect continuous tense. Then, very good. Next, the RBI has proposed to introduce polymer notes after taking into considering or consideration. Very good. See, sometimes the questions are very easy, right? When we start reading it, we'll be stuck up with the answer. Taking into consideration. So that's next. Everyone who visits Singapore. Everyone who visits Singapore is impressed by its cleanliness, which is mainly a result of rigorous implementation of their strict laws. Everyone who visits they stick to law, not laws. Law is only one, right? Of course, in usage, we do use laws. Right, next. Most people would have attended the union meeting if they had had a longer notice. They had. See, using of had and had twice. Okay, let us come with the option 4 is the answer. That is not the case here. Now coming, I have had my breakfast. One have, I have had. Have is an auxiliary verb, and after any auxiliary verb, we have to use V3, past participle of the verb form. Have. I have had. Now, when do we use had? Past perfect, right? But that is not the case here. Okay, next. Next question. He took to reading Times for better knowledge. Times is a popular magazine, isn't it? The Times. So, second one. Okay, that is that's all we have discussed today. So, my dear viewers, I hope you have enjoyed the session. So, do subscribe to our channel, My Skills, My Future. And tomorrow also, let us, after 2 days, a couple of days, let us come again with more examples of this IBPS. So, after these mock classes, let us commence with the regular work. Do subscribe, attend regularly, and get the benefit. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Over.